Welcome. This is the Bird's Eye View. I am the War Duck, and I am here, as always, with the lovely Mr. Krow.
Hey everybody, good to see you.
Today we have kind of an uplifting topic. This kind of came across my feed, and I immediately knew I had to read it. So here we go. Part of the greatest generation. U.S. identifies remains of World War II soldier who vanished in 1944. So this is kind of a cool story. Well, a cool story in how it ended, not necessarily a cool story in the way it started.
The way it came about, yeah.
Right. So it says authorities identify the remains of a World War II tank crew member from Tennessee who was killed when his M4 Sherman tank was hit by an 88mm round during a battle near G, Germany. I'm sure I butchered that. In December 1944, the Defense POW MIA accounting agency said in a news release. So basically, 23-year-old Joe A. Vinyard died in battle fighting for his country. It says the 774 Tank Battalion, when Germans attacked his unit, crew members fled the tank, but after regrouping, Vinyard was missing. One crew member reported seeing Vinyard leave the tank, but he still wasn't found several days later. No remains were found within the burned out tank. Germans, however, never reported Vinyard as a prisoner of war. Finally, in April 1946, the War Department issued a presumptive finding of death. In December 1950, Vinyard was declared non-recoverable after an American Grave Registration Command, the agency tasked with locating missing Americans in Europe, determined that remains found within 2 destroyed tanks in G could not be identified.
Yeah, this is sad, you know?
Yeah, unrecoverable. That sucks. I mean, you know, in Washington they have the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, and that's a big, huge thing. And you know, these people are in another country and never got to be brought home, or
yeah.
So, let's see. Years later, the DPAA historian studied unresolved American losses in Hertgen area, discovered that one of the remains could have been Vinyard's. The agency said the remains were sent to Nebraska for analysis, and the scientists were able to determine a match.
Vinyard, that's amazing right there.
Vinyard will be buried in Maryville, Tennessee. It says so he's originally from Tennessee, and now he gets to come home.
So many years later.
That's super awesome that they're still doing this. Now,
it's just amazing to hear, think of all the technology on how it's changed and how they've been able to figure out and identify him, you know, because I'm pretty sure they didn't have any DNA on him.
Yeah, and then Mr. Krow was a little bit taken by this number down here.
Yes. Yes.
So, Defense POW MIA accounting agency works to recover the remains of missing soldiers. The agency has accounted for 1,474 missing World War II soldiers since work beginning in 1973. Yeah, 1,474 sounds like a large number.
It does.
Then you see the other number.
Then you see how many they still have to go.
Government figures show more than 72,000 World War II soldiers are still missing in action.
72,000 people still not accounted for in World War II. Oh, that blew my mind. Yeah, because when I first glanced over this and I saw that, you know, just under 1,500 missing soldiers have been identified, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. But yet still.
What bothers me is about that number, though. Are these all combat soldiers? Or are they all military members? through
Good
all
point.
branches, because there's several ships that went down that's that could be 5 to 1,000 people right there.
Oh, yeah.
And
Easy.
so it makes me wonder how many of these are naval losses that they haven't recovered because of the nature of a naval ship sinking.
And they really can't ever go into the naval ships, can they, to get
It
them?
depends on how deep.
Okay.
Like
I
they could have done a lot of that with the Pearl Harbor ship sinkings, right?
Oh yeah, because that was kind of kind of shallow, huh?
Right, but they chose not to on a lot of them
Yeah.
because at that point they figured it was disturbing the resting site, right? And so they
Yep.
kind of didn't. But there's some like they just found one of the ships. It's I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but is the deepest ship ever discovered, and it was an escort. Ah, damn, I forgot the name of it.
Oh, wow.
But it was sank, and it's the deepest wreck ever found so far.
Jeez.
And so there's no way to really get to it. There's probably hundreds of people left on the ship.
But you bring that up too, and the reason why I also asked is, so my youngest son, he's kind of into the Titanic. He kind of, he's really into the Navy stuff, and he wants to fly the airplane on the aircraft. But he was discovering some stuff about the Titanic, and I was overhearing what he was watching, and they say that the Titanic, because it's so deep, it has been pressured. It's squished. There's parts of it that are very, very, like, something that, like, your room used to be like 7 feet. Well, now under all that pressure and everything, it's only like, say, a foot in some places, and they can't get in there and rescue and do things like this. And so with you saying that there's also another one that's even been deeper than that, I'm like, that's a lot of pressure. That's
Let's
a lot of
see.
pressure getting so narrow. That's it. That's interesting. And there's nothing that they can do. Oh, that'd be.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. The deeper the Johnston, yeah. So the deepest shipwreck found lying on the seabed, 6.468 miles down, 21,222 feet below the surface. The Samar Islands in the Philippine Sea. The USS Samuel B. Roberts lies almost 400 meters deeper. So Johnston was the deepest, and now the Samuel B. Roberts, which was just discovered, is 400 meters deeper.
What was it called? Samuel D.
It is the Samuel B. Roberts, and it was an escort ship, I believe.
Wow. I wanted to look that up. And 22,600 feet. Jeez. So for our
So yeah, like
7 kilometers. Jeez. 7. Just under 7.
how these numbers. It makes me wonder like how many. I wish it broke it down to like different services. Like
Yeah.
there's this many Army and Marines, there's this many Navy, this many Air Force, because every time you get a loss in the Navy, you're usually talking about multiple
Yeah.
losses because the nature of a ship.
Yeah.
So, but
Like, yeah, if someone's on a submarine and you lost, or
yeah, there's 40,
whatever, your
40,
your
50
brother on a
guys.
submarine, there's a
Yeah.
pretty good chance it's not just your brother you lost. There's going to be a lot more.
Yeah, I don't know
And
how many's on a sub, probably 40 or 50 guys on a sub.
that's what I was thinking too. I'm going to average.
But but Anyway, remains of tanker Joe Vinyard will be brought home after 70 years after he went missing for 70 years.
Wow.
That's
That is
pretty
so
cool.
cool.
That
That is
that
so
that would
cool.
be a job I wish I had known about when I was a kid. Because that would be a job that as a kid I would like, okay, I want to go help and do this kind of stuff, help find and bring back soldiers.
That would be really cool. Just yeah.
Yeah.
And if especially if you're like a history kind of not buff, but like history in like interests you, what a job this would be. You know, to be able to just go learn a little bit, go find some of this stuff and
So I wonder when so they started in the 70s, so about 50 years
73.
ago. 73, that's when they started, is that what you said?
Yeah, it was 1973.
So they started in 1973. So they have had about 44 years, and they've only found 1,400 people. Man, that's a
Jeez.
slow process.
That is a very slow process.
But I wonder if all of those. I wonder if a lot of those. I wonder if your bell curve goes like this, right? As technology has gotten better. It started off really slow because you don't have the same DNA technology, and now all of a sudden you got
Yeah.
all this other ones, and now all of a sudden you're finding a lot
But
more.
I'm wondering too if there aren't. I'm trying to think. Is this like fiction based on Hollywood, or if it's semi-true? Aren't they um X-ray the ground now and see what's kind of below to an extent?
Yeah, they could, but you'd have to go somewhere where you knew people were
You know, you
there.
have to do. There has to be some history where, like, okay, this battle happened, this location.
Like there's probably nobody left buried at Normandy Beach, even though thousands of people
Most likely,
died
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
But like if you were, let's say you and your squad were out, and all of a sudden you ran into a bunch of Germans and you all got wiped out. Like Germans probably didn't go over there and bury you. They probably just moved on.
Hmm.
So there might be random places where there's 5, 6, 7, 20 bodies that were
True.
just left wherever they were left, and then over time got covered up and moved on.
It's just, and this is what's now it's got me questioning too and wondering, is
But
this?
see, they're
Well,
always
it is. It's
finding
72.
bombs and shit from World War II.
Yeah.
Over there still. So it's not like it's out of the ordinary or something. It's like it just things have changed so much. There's probably houses on some of these spots or near some of these spots, and they just don't.
You're
think
starting to
that,
think
yeah.
some of the things I was going down to. Where I was like, this is 72,000 people still missing from World War II. And look at all of the different kind of wars that have gone on all over throughout the world.
Yeah.
It's
But like
there's
think about
probably
this.
bodies all over.
How many bodies are missing just from the Normandy invasion?
Oh yeah.
Because think of you were right at the water's edge, or some people never made it onto the beach from getting off the
Never
ship,
made it.
right? They took a step off and sunk.
You know, you got the waves and the
Yeah.
tide and all of that.
So I wonder how many, see that, I don't know. I don't want to get it, go down
Yeah,
some
see that
rabbit
just because like you
hole,
start
yeah.
just going and going.
This will be an hour-long video about rabbit
Yeah.
holes at this point. But
really what it comes down to is this guy's been found, he's brought home.
yep. Joe
Still people
Vinyard, tanker
are
Joe
not.
Vinyard is being brought home and buried in his hometown. So that is awesome. So
That's very cool. Very
leave
cool.
a like, leave a
Congratulations
comment.
to that team.
Tell us what you think about this video. And with that, we're out of here for now.
All right. See you next time, everyone.